So the 49ers might nab both Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant in the NFL draft. Two stud Jim Harbaugh, Michigan defensive tackles for Kyle Shanahan at the 49ers' biggest position of need. Who says no? Yes, just like the Rams, whom the 49ers are emulating with their draft-focused model, the 49ers can draft two stud defensive linemen from the same college. Jared Verse, Braden Fisk from Florida State to the Rams. I say Mason Graham, Kenneth Grant to the 49ers. The best of both worlds. You can get the best of both worlds at the top of China Peak. That's Huntington Lake in the High Sierra. This is Chinese Peak. I'm at the very top. Look, I even took off my skis. They're waiting for me with my poles back there. And about to head down the Black Diamond. It's called China Bowl on the way down. The degree of difficulty, skiing that, could be like the degree of difficulty running against the 49ers moving in the future if they can pick up Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant. Not too hard to get those two names confused, but two different types of players who could both make this 49ers defense complete up the middle. It was way too easy. It was a green run. It was a green circle to run against the 49ers last year. They're number 29 in run defense. They need to make it very difficult again. And somebody like Kenneth Grant, you look at his 330-pound frame and the fact that today at Michigan's Pro Day, the vertical leap at 31 inches and a 331-pound frame, it shows you that he's got both the size and the explosiveness to play a good nose tackle position, which is what you need on those base downs against the run. Somebody like Mason Graham is significantly smaller than Kenneth Grant, but he's technically a more advanced football player. I mean, the speed with which Mason Graham has been able to get off of blockers and the hand usage is elite. You watch his college tape and it's a lot of fun. Michigan dominated a lot of people with those two guys in the middle. Good news with Mason Graham is today at the Pro Day, he was actually 10 pounds heavier than he was at the NFL Scouting Combine last year. So 306 pounds versus 296 pounds last month at the Scouting Combine. There had been some concern about Mason Graham's size there, but guys get smaller for the workout circuit. They're in workout mode right now. Then they convert into football mode. That is part of the problem when you decide to focus on rookies and depend on rookies, is that they spend their entire spring of the draft season preparing to work out and not to play football. So sometimes there's some catch-up they have to play during that rookie season. Now, somebody who probably won't have to play catch-up is Kenneth Grant. Kenneth Grant is like this mountain. It's an absolute wall. Look, I'm not even at the very top. There's still more to go, but I'm not going to hike that with ski boots on. But again, the guy is huge, and he's 330 plus pounds. He's batted down so many passes. If you watch Kenneth Grant and his tape at Michigan, he obviously draws the interest of many double teams. But even when he can't get through the double team, he's able to raise his hand, and he's got great spatial awareness to knock down the pass. He backs up guards into the quarterback, as you would expect from somebody who can, bench press I think it was 27 reps that he was able to put up today, more than he did at the NFL Combine. I think it was 5 more. I think he had 22 at the Combine, but he's obviously got strength. He's got lower body strength. He has the frame to push the pocket, and even if he can't get to the quarterback, he gets his hands up and he bats the ball down. All over the Michigan tape, you saw that. But let's talk about this in the context of the 49ers depth chart. I don't think they have a starting defensive tackle on the team as we speak right now, starting caliber player. Jordan Elliott, they picked him up to be a rotational guy, and he's a run-first defender. He doesn't bring much in terms of pass rushing. The best he's going to be is a rotational guy, and I think if the 49ers load up enough at defensive tackle, Jordan Elliott may not be on this team next year. They've already released Malik Collins. They've obviously already released Leonard Floyd on the outside. But the reason that Collins is no longer here is because he can't play the run as effectively as he rushes the passer. And to fix the number 29 run defense, you've got to have guys who can do both. And I think that, when you go through who the 49ers have, Jordan Elliott can't do both. Kalia Davis has not shown to be a plus player yet. Evan Anderson, thought he was nice against the pass last year. Actually, he thought he was a really good pass rusher for the 49ers, but I think there's still something left to be desired when it comes to the run defense for Evan Anderson. Maybe he takes that second-year jump, but it's not something that you can completely count on. I mean, this was an undrafted free agent who came out of Florida Atlantic last year. Kevin Givens. We know who Kevin Givens is. Kevin Givens is a rotational backup defensive tackle who has been with the 49ers since 2019, signed a 4-year qualifying player contract, which means that the 49ers have him at really, really good value. 1.1 or $1.2 million cap hit, but he gets a $2.2 million salary. So they're taking advantage of all the tricks they can when it comes to using the cap, paying his salary to maximize efficiency. And Kevin Givens is a trusted agent as a rotational defensive lineman. But, as I go through those names, you can tell that the 49ers need more impact punch players. And this defensive tackle class is awesome. I mean, on paper, at least, through the measurables, and not just on paper, watching the tape of these guys in college, I bring up the number a lot. There are 41 of them invited to the NFL Combine this year, only 25 last year. And two of the headliners are Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant. They both had their pro day today. And I think that it would work well for the 49ers if they're able to get both of these guys. Tack on an edge rusher somewhere else. I don't think the need for a starting edge rusher is as acute as the need for these defensive tackles, though. Because when you're looking to fix run defense, it has to start from the inside. Especially in the wide nine that the 49ers run, those defensive linemen are far apart. And it gives the edge rushers more advantageous pass rushing angles, but it also forces the defensive tackles to eat up a lot of space. And so you need guys who are athletic. And Kenneth Grant, by the way, at the 330 pounds, Jim Harbaugh said that he can run the 40 under 5 seconds, which would make him a true athletic freak. He's got a really good relative athletic score, don't get me wrong, but he ran a 5.1 today, according to an unofficial time from a scout. So not quite under 5 seconds. Jim Harbaugh has been known to embellish from time to time. Maybe on a better day, he runs under 5 seconds, but the point is the same. The guy can run a 5.1 at 330 plus pounds. That means that he's athletic. We've seen the vertical jump 31 inches. He can clog space, not get pushed back in the run game, absorb double teams, have the spatial awareness to knock down passes, and also move. And you have to be able to move because the wide nine is going to leave more space in between those defensive tackles. So I think Kenneth Grant would fit really well with Chris Kasarik. 49ers might be able to get him later in the first round. And of course, it might take some draft maneuvering for this to happen. Maybe a trade back up into the first with the excess of picks that they might have later in the draft. Or who knows? Who knows where this is all going to shake out? I can tell you that Mason Graham is one of the best defensive linemen as far as just pure skill that people have seen on tape. I think one drawback there is that he is a little bit smaller. Solomon Thomas is somebody who's dominant on tape in college, but playing against college guys is not the same as delivering against NFL guys. But I think that Mason Graham is so damn technically good that he's going to make somebody better. If you can play with your hands and if you can play with quickness, especially in a league that has seen some downsizing up front, I think that you're going to be successful. So how about both Mason Graham, Kenneth Grant? I think the 49ers would be well on their way to getting this defensive line back to where it needs to be. Would make Chris Kasarik one happy man. If you like these draft profile videos, well, you're going to get a whole lot more of them from really cool spots. Just give me a thumbs up, though, on the video and in the comment section. Do both of that, and you'll get more of these draft profile videos. This is China Peak in the 559 above Fresno, Visalia, Sierra Nevada, March Miracle. Snow is dumped on this area, and they're going to keep the ski resort open until late April. All right, guys, I'm going to go hop on those skis. Down the Black Diamond we go. Degree of difficulty, same as running against the 49ers next year after they pick up Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant out of Michigan.